I actually wanted to be a footballer's wife because I saw Victoria Beckham all over the cover of Grazia magazine, and I thought, whatever it is that she does, without a full understanding of what it was that she did, yeah, that's what I want to do. The funny thing is that actually it was all personal branding. Like, how many years later, now I'm like, oh, that's what I wanted. It wasn't her job because I was like, I didn't know what she did. It was the art of building a personal brand. I'd wanted to be freelance for a long time. I'm so terrified because I had been taught, go and get a job, work hard, put your head down, and the rest will take care of itself.
Hello and welcome to Coffee and Oysters, the London Business Babe podcast, where we get you together with business tips that actually work and let you know where it's worth tapping your Oyster card around the city. My name is Frances Adair Matthews. I am a certified Notion consultant and founder of the Notion Bar, where I get my clients together with personalized productivity systems built in Notion. Never fear for my system loving girlies. Every month we host the Big Notion Energy Academy, where we go through Notion's latest releases and answer your burning questions. Details in the show notes. What a week! First of all, I am gassed by this lighting. I don't know if you're watching right now. Winter sun is probably my favorite, where it's that low sun in the sky, but where my living room is, you just get this incredible effect in the afternoon. I'm not loving the weather getting colder, but I am loving this low afternoon winter sun that I'm getting at the moment. This past week has been really fun, actually. I went to a live event with Ramel London for her podcast, The Mainstream, and that was at Soul Mama up near Stratford, which is a great venue, actually. The food was really good, and yeah, no complaints there really. And then also I went to a event for creatives on a boat up by South Quay, which is near Canary Wharf. And it was literally a boat, like a massive, imagine a houseboat, but cargo ship sized. And they've turned it into a bar and events venue where there's like literally a stage and stuff. It was so sick. It was held by Kid Circus, and he invited some other London creatives to talk about their journeys and just getting like really raw with advice, essentially. I 100% will be going back to that at some point. Number one, it's so close to me. Number two, everyone was just really cool. And it's on a boat. Like, it was held at a place called Theatre Ship. They actually host some really cool things as well that I want to check out. They had an Afro jazz night coming up, which I'm potentially interested in. And yeah, the space is just so cool and the drinks are cheap. Without further ado, let's dive into today's episode.
Hey London Business Babe. This community is built for us and by us to ungatekeep your next move and life in the city. If you never want to miss out, subscribe to the Substack where episodes will land straight in your inbox. Plus, every other Monday, you'll get a chance to feature on the show by shouting yourself out in the Manifest Monday email. You never know who's listening. Details in the show notes. Now, grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and let's get into today's interview.
Okay. Super excited for today's episode. Today we have Phoebe Parke, who is a social media coach who helps wellness experts build their personal brands on social media. Super excited to have you here today, finally.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. How's your week going?
Good. It's cold, so I'm trying to get used to that, essentially. That's been my main focus alongside work.
How are you dealing with this sudden? It feels like we weren't in winter for a while, and all of a sudden it's like we're here now.
We're here now. It's freezing. I have the dramatic oversized scarves, coats, gloves, everything. I'm ready for the cold.
I hear you. I literally bought like sheep skin slippers the other day in prep for this. So,
I love that. That's what we need.
yeah, worth it actually. Bit more expensive, but worth it. So excited to have you on today. I feel like you are the definition of the word storyteller. Like, for people who don't know your work, like, you started out in newsroom journalism, like CNN, and then you went on to being head of social media at Grazia Mag, and then also Gordon Ramsay restaurants, and now you're helping people build their personal brands. Tell us about that journey.
Yeah, it's crazy actually. Like when I hear it out loud, when I hear someone else say it, I'm like, oh, that's insane. But it makes sense to me. So I did an undergraduate degree to give you the full CV and show kind of where it came from. I did a degree in English and German literature. Yes, how random that was. But I did that, and that really helped me. Obviously, reading, if someone ever wants to get better at writing, then reading is the way to go. And my gosh, did we read on that degree? It was, I remember doing a book a week, which was, now if I think about it, I can't remember the last time like I read a book in a month. But yeah, we did a book a week, and that really helped me understand some of the patterns of storytelling, some of these amazing, great writers. After that, I then did a master's in journalism. So that's kind of where the storytelling comes in, and really learning about how to create good stories. And that really lent itself to social media, because all we're really doing on social media is finding a hook. That's what everyone says with a good TikTok video or a good Instagram reel, is you're finding the hook and then you're going from there. So that's what I learned in terms of in journalism. That's all you're doing is, okay, here's the hook, and then the rest of the story comes afterwards.
Okay, and did you always want to go into this line of work?
So I originally, I don't know if I should reveal this because it doesn't make me sound good, but this is a raw, honest, authentic conversation. Actually wanted to be a footballer's wife because I saw Victoria Beckham all over the cover of Grazia magazine, and I thought, whatever it is that she does, without a full understanding of what it was that she did, I was, yeah, that's what I wanna do. Then I kind of realized perhaps that wasn't exactly what I was thinking of, but that seemed like the most glamorous thing in the world. When I was working at CNN, social media was a thing that no one else wanted to do. Sometimes you'll find yourself in a situation in an office, in a company where there's that one task that no one wants to do, and I would always recommend people to take up that job, because you become so valuable when you're doing the thing that no one else wants to do, essentially.
But going back to what you were saying earlier about the hook, is Victoria Beckham everywhere, and that made it. She packaged herself in a way that was exciting to you. Essentially, that was her personal brand.
The funny thing is that actually it was all personal branding. How funny, like how many years later, now I'm like, oh, that's what I wanted. It wasn't her job, because I was like, I didn't know what she did. I was like, she just looks great. And she's going around with these little handbags. But yeah, it was the art of building a personal brand.
Amazing. I love that. And so you must have worked on some incredible campaigns in your time. Like, tell us about any pivotal moments that taught you a lot about digital audiences, especially as you could arguably say you're an early adopter of social media in terms of using it as a business tool. So tell us some about those moments.
So I think what from the outside, it looks like, let's say, for example, at Grazia, these campaigns that come together and these shoots and the video element of it seems, oh yeah, you just got together and took a few pictures and then put them on the cover. When you actually understand and you're there firsthand for the amount of planning, everything is thought of, from the styling of the outfit. That's a whole team of people that are working on the references of exactly how the person's going to look on the day. And so I just had so much more respect for these campaigns once I'd been there, and just having that exposure to being in those situations is just incredible. We did an amazing campaign during lockdown, actually, that we put readers on the cover of the magazine. So we did this call out. It was this like big competition. It was a real collaboration between the different teams. So between my team, which was a social team, all the other teams, and we put this call out and we found, I think it was 5 or 7 readers, and we put them on the cover. We did a socially distanced shoot with them, and the average readers got to be on the cover of Grazia magazine, and we told their stories, and it was so that to me was so amazing at a time when we couldn't do the traditional shoots that we would normally do. We all got together and did a really collaborative shoot that worked really well.
Amazing. And what was some of the feedback that you were getting from the audience, the people who were used to seeing this much more like glossy kind of production, essentially?
People loved it. It was something, and now you might think, "Oh, yeah, like, readers on the cover, whatever," but actually at the time, it was something, especially from Grazia magazine, something that is so glossy and so about the aesthetics of everything. People loved it, and we made sure it was really diverse. That's something that's really important to me and has been really important to me throughout my career is storytelling, yes, but not telling the same story over and over again, telling actually some diverse stories who haven't we heard from. And so that was really important in that campaign. And yeah, people absolutely loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that time that we all experienced in the pandemic skyrocketed those sorts of stories, those kind of like real, raw stories, because everyone was basically just scrolling on social media. How do you feel like authenticity plays a part in today's world of digital storytelling?
That's such a good question. I think it's such a buzzword now. Authenticity, authentic stories, blah, blah, blah. But actually, it's so important. You can tell, like you and I can tell, if we look at a piece of content and the person is maybe not quite sure about their product or they're like a bit nervous on camera, we can tell instantly the energy that you're giving off through the camera. We can pick up on that. When someone is really passionate about their product, it comes through. And a lot of social media coaches or social media experts will say, you have to speak to camera. You always have to speak to camera and put yourself on camera. Not for everyone. If that's not authentic to you, we will be able to tell. Sometimes we read it as you're not sure about your product or you're not confident in yourself. Actually, it's that you're not doing the content in the best medium for you. So you're being forced essentially to speak to camera and you're not comfortable doing that. If you did like B-roll or you did an interview or you did something else or a carousel, it would come across a lot better.
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel like sometimes people forget that faceless content exists. And there are so many accounts out there doing incredible jobs at it, and being in front of the camera is not the only option
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Amazing. You were in the depths of corporate social media and building personal brands for brands, arguably. But when did you become in love with personal brand to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna quit this job and I'm just gonna help people form incredible personal brands? What was that turning point for you?
So I think I had always had this idea and I didn't know what it was, like looking at Victoria Beckham or looking at any of those amazing, really entrepreneurs, but I didn't have the words to understand what that was at the time. But I always had this sense of wanting, understanding that the way that you show up, even in the workplace, you're building your personal brand. So I would wear, and now I look back, it's so funny to me, but I would wear these like super tight, like, midi dresses, and I'd have my handbag, and that was me building my personal brand. I didn't really understand what I was doing at the time, but whenever we walk into a workplace or a space, we're already giving off signals about how we want people to treat us. I think halfway through my time at Grazia magazine, I decided to start sharing some information about social media and best practice on Instagram. I did this because I wanted to be taken seriously. I was young, one of the youngest people in the workplace at the time. I didn't have the years of experience, didn't have the gravitas that everyone else had. And so my kind of cheat code or my way around it without having all those years of experience was to show people on social media, I know what I'm talking about. I had been doing that for a long time. Then I went to work at Gordon Ramsay restaurants and I continued building this personal brand on the side. I had wanted to be freelance for a long time. I was just scared. I was so terrified because I had been taught you go, you get a job, work hard, put your head down, work hard, and the rest will take care of itself. But the respect wasn't there, the gravitas wasn't there, I wasn't getting what I wanted. I'd made the decision January 2025 to go freelance and just to do it, and gave myself like, look, if it doesn't work out, you can go and get another job, but try it because I've been doing it on the side for so long, almost 5 years. So why not try and do it full time? And I knew it would be more fulfilling because I'm working with people one to one. I know that will be more fulfilling for me to see those clients get their book deals and their brand deals and make it click for them rather than just adding to the bottom line of a corporate company.
And then what was that transition like for you? Switching from part-time to full-time, what was the biggest whoa, what was the biggest shift that you had to make in your life?
I think, you know what? It sounds so cringy, but your mindset is everything. I used to literally roll my eyes when people would say that to me. Oh, your mindset, like your affirmations. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'll just do the work and it'll be fine. Your mindset is everything. I had no doubt in my mind that I could be freelance and I could make it work and I could be an amazing entrepreneur, an amazing business person. That is what helped me so much. If you don't think that you can do it or you're not sure, you put the not sure energy out there. You're on a call with a potential client and you're not sure. They pick up on the not sure and then they're not sure about you. The surer you are about yourself is the surer other people are going to be about you. So the transition was difficult, but what really helped me is that I had prepared for it. I see a lot of people now kind of like, I'm going to leave my job. And it's like, okay, but where's the cushion? If anyone is asking my advice or wants my advice, have your financial cushion there. That will help you so much. It will mean that you can be a bit more picky about the type of work that you pick up because you have your savings there and you're not like, oh my gosh, if I don't take this job right now, I'm not going to have any food next month. So having that financial cushion really helped me a lot.
Absolutely. Financial cushion is key. And were you prepping a pipeline of clients who are ready to go as soon as you were ready to go full time? Or was that something you felt like, I'm just going to focus on that properly when I have time to focus on it?
So it's really hard. That's my personality is it's like organizing things. That's one of my strengths is just like to get everything organized. So I had months of preparing financially and preparing in terms of, okay, I'm going to launch this. I launched 3 months before, so gave him my notice and then launched. So I was working my notice period and also prepping to take on clients that January. So I knew, okay, I had 5 clients lined up for January. So it was I get ready to go from the jump. But that's hard. Like it's hard to do because you're working, a full-time job, and then this is like your side hustle. It's about how much do you want it and how much, if this is something that you're really passionate about doing, you'll find yourself spending a lot of time on it because you love doing it.
Yeah, I think I felt quite similar in my own transition period. I don't think enough people talk about that pre-transition period enough, where
Yes.
you're prepping to go full time and it's almost like you're working two full-time jobs in those couple of months before, if you are prepping for it in that way. And it feels insane at the time.
It should be hopefully a short period of time.
Yeah.
Doing it for that notice period, that couple of months, but and you'll feel much better having had something set up. rather than, oh, I'll just deal with that when I've got no more money coming in. That can be scary.
I also want to talk about your incredible ability to pivot. And so you started out doing personal branding generally, and then now you've moved more into personal branding for wellness leaders, essentially. Tell us about that jump for you and why you made it.
So I think something that I've been banging on about, I would say, for 5 years is how important it is to pick a niche. To me, that is one of the most important things when you're posting on social media is that you have a clearly defined niche. We need to know if we follow you, what kind of content are we going to get? If we're talking about hair one day and then food the next, and then being a corporate babe the next, it is more difficult for us to associate you with one particular area of expertise. And there are many exceptions to this rule, but for me, picking a niche is really important. And so when I started this business, I realized I was not myself doing what I was advising other people to do, which is pick a very specific niche. So in this year of being freelance, and it's been as much of a learning for me personally as it has been for me professionally. As when you go freelance, it really shows you who you are. What time do you wake up in the morning? If no one is, you don't have to be up by a certain time necessarily. What are those habits that you fall back to? What are those vices? Do you sit there and scroll on TikTok all day? Yes, that's what I do. So it's really taught me so much. And in that, it helped, I really got into wellness in my personal life. So I trained to be a Pilates instructor because I was so obsessed and so am so obsessed with Pilates. I kind of changed my diet. Now I had more time to really think about what I was eating and what I was consuming. So that kind of thing all led me to have a real interest in wellness. And so I thought, why not? Since I've spent this time trying to get as well as possible in my personal life, why not help people who are working in that wellness sector pick that as the niche I wanted to go into? It doesn't mean that I don't work with other people who are outside wellness. It just means I'm able to serve those clients who are in wellness so much better because I know about some of the things that they're talking about and the connections and contacts that they might need.
Yeah, and what are some of those unique ways that you would work with people in the wellness sector specifically? What are
So,
some of their unique concerns?
so I think in wellness, it's really a lot of people find social media really icky. Wellness and outside of wellness as well, but it's this thing of, oh, like I am essentially an artist. I don't want to sell my soul on social media. So it's helping them find ways, again, that word, authentic ways to promote themselves on social media without it feeling like they're just selling. And I'm finding a lot now in the wellness space. I work with a lot of nutritionists, for example. There is so much misinformation that actually we desperately need to hear from these trained professionals. We are, myself included, buying supplements like never before, but we don't really know what to look for. Like, I'm taking a collagen supplement. I have absolutely no idea why I'm taking that supplement. I'm very susceptible to marketing. I was like, yeah, I need a collagen supplement. So we need to hear from these nutritionists. We need to hear from these practitioners so much more now than ever before. And so I help them find a way that feels good for them to still promote. They're essentially promoting themselves on social media, but in a way that is not salesy, is not gross and icky to them. The more I work with, let's say, for example, Pilates instructors, I have those connections and those contacts because I have trained in that field. And so I can easily connect them with the studio owner or whoever they need because that's the power of having that specific niche and working in one specific area.
Yeah, and if we want to talk about strength of personal brand, I didn't even know you worked in this field for the longest time. I was just obsessed with your Pilates content on TikTok. Everyone, please go follow Phoebe on TikTok. But how many Pilates studios have you reviewed now? Do you know?
I literally, how funny, I counted them last night because someone asked me, it's 170.
That's incredible. So yeah, you have a lot of connections, and that's a unique selling point for you, right? And I think that's something that people forget, that they have a unique advantage through their own networks that they're not necessarily leveraging, or they could leverage, essentially.
Yeah, and I think what I see a lot of people do is they try and appeal to everyone. Yeah, like I'm just a general nutritionist, or and actually they have something specific. It could be within like fertility, for example, that they have a specific area of expertise that could reel in someone who is looking for that. We're looking for something specific, but a lot of us are branding ourselves as something generic, and that's sometimes where the mismatch comes in.
And so you're working with people who may not love social media already. How do you encourage people to be consistent with something that they were already a bit meh about in the first place?
So this is something that is really hard because a lot of people, clients come to me and they say, I hate social media. And I'm like, okay, you're coming to a social media coach, but I guess if they loved it, they would already be out there and trying things. And social media is really trial and error. I have no formal training in social media 10 years ago when I started, but there was nowhere you could go to formally train in any kind of social media marketing. It did not exist. So it was trial and error. And that's what we did. And that's how we learned. And you can still do that today. Of course, there are great courses that you can go on, but social media is trial and error. So I try and make people fall in love with social media, which is a hard job to do. But once you're in love with it, then everything becomes easier because we do things that we love to do. So I find a way, and it's different for everyone, to get them to fall in love. So it could be, actually, we're going to move over to TikTok because all your friends and family and colleagues are watching you on Instagram. And that's the thing that you hate. You hate being seen by your colleagues, essentially. So sometimes we move over to TikTok, which feels a bit more free. Or it could be you've been forced to do these face to camera videos, which actually you hate, but you love doing a day in the life where you just film different clips and B-roll. And that's how you can fall in love with it. So it's just about finding which platform and which type of content. Some people love being on Canva like I do, and they can be really creative on there. So we find whichever bit that you're gonna love, and then essentially try and help them fall in love with that specific type of content or platform. Or if someone really hates social media entirely, make it a newsletter, get on Substack, do something else. You don't have to post on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, preach. Just find the version you hate the least.
That's actually it. Either you like writing, some people love YouTube. Pinterest is an amazing platform. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah. In your opinion, what platform is the most exciting for you right now, for you personally?
Oh, that's hard. I would say personally, TikTok for me is, I think yesterday I posted like 8 times on TikTok. In fact, that's how you found me. Like,
Yeah.
who is this insane person going around?
I was like, I'm here for it.
Who is this person going around these Pilates studios? So yeah, for me, TikTok is easy for me. It takes me a couple of minutes to make a video, and that means that I'll be more consistent on that platform. I think LinkedIn is very interesting. It's great for people who don't want to do video and they don't want to do speaking to camera. Like you could build your whole business on LinkedIn and be extremely successful.
Yes, 100%. And how do you do it all? Because you post a lot of content. Impressed, let's just say that. So is it just you? Do you have help?
No, and this is the thing that this is so controversial, but feel like this is a safe space. I think people are outsourcing too soon with social media. I said it.
All right.
Yeah, what are the repercussions going to be? I think people start a business and they think, I hate social media, I'm going to outsource it immediately. But they don't really have a vision for it. So I've seen it so many times. They hire a social media manager, but they don't give the social media manager a clear brief because they don't know what they're doing and they don't know what they want. The social media manager then tries as best as they can, but you're only as good as the brief that you've been given. It's like a ChatGPT prompt. You're only as good as the prompt. ChatGPT is amazing, but if you give it a bad prompt, you're not going to get what you want. So then there's a disconnect between the social media manager trying to do an amazing job, but they haven't got the information they need. And the business owner is frustrated because they're not getting the results they want. So I think a lot of people are outsourcing social media because they don't want to do it. And it's like the admin thing of, oh, someone else will do it, but without any clear vision. I like to help people figure out what it is that they need from social media and why they're posting. And then if they need help later on, hire someone to help them. But I post all my content myself because I've fallen in love with TikTok. It doesn't feel like work to me. So that's where I think people need to get to is which platform or which type of content can you post that doesn't feel like work?
Preach. And so going into like the logistics of it for you and being a social media coach, what is your business model at the moment?
So I recently changed this over from doing like the classic discovery call, right? So everyone is like, yeah, let's jump on a call, let's do a discovery call. I was finding that because there are a lot of social media experts out there and it's become a very oversaturated market and a lot of people are being taken advantage of because they buy into this thing of, oh, I'm going to get you like this many followers and blah blah blah. So I went with a different approach. So I give free social media audits to anyone who wants a social media audit. It's 30 minutes, we audit, usually it's Instagram. And then if after that point, you feel like you need more help, I offer a coaching program. But that way, you're giving away free information, which is actually more beneficial for me because I get to understand what people are struggling with. And so I can then use that to inform content and my program and things like that. The other person you've solidified yourself as an expert in their eyes. So if they do need an expert, they'll come to you, or if a friend needs an expert, they'll come to you. The 8-week program that I offer is exactly what I was just saying, is about what is it like figuring out what you want to be known for, which I think is the number one important question in personal branding. Once you know what you want to be known for, the rest is easy. As soon as you figure that out, then it's just, okay, creating a bunch of content and positioning and things like that. So that's the most important thing. And then we go through the types of content that you want to create, helping people to create that kind of content, putting systems in place to stay consistent. That's very important because a lot of people don't know how to do that. Time management, very important. And then the last kind of thing that we go over is about pitching and monetizing, because it's all fun and games to be posting on social media, but if you do this for years and you never make any money, you become very resentful of posting. And so the monetizing part is a really important part of the coaching program that I offer.
What are some of your top tips if people are favorite tip for moving the needle for people who want to start monetizing their personal brands?
So I would say this is my stat that I made up, so don't quote me, but I think I guesstimate 70% of the brand deals that we see, the influencer or the influencer's agent have pitched the brand. There is a common misconception that once you get to your 10,000 followers or your 5,000 followers, the brands will come and knock at your door and say, here's all our money, let's work together. Actually, you pitch them. So you could change your entire business and your entire career as a content creator if you get into the habit of pitching. Take let's say an hour a week and pitch brands that you already use. So look around your desk, look around wherever you are, name 10 brands that you are already using, put together a media kit in Canva, spend an hour a week pitching them. You will transform the amount of money you're making because they don't know you exist yet. So how could they give you money? They don't know who you are. And don't wait until I get X amount of followers. There's people with 1,000 followers making thousands of pounds from brand deals. So actually pitching them is like the number one. It sounds so simple, but people are not doing it.
Yeah, but if you're looking at return on investment, that 1 hour a week is double, triple your income for that month.
And even if it's like an affiliate deal, even if it's something, your Amazon associates or your affiliates or whatever, like there's little referral schemes and so much that you could be doing just to make, like, who doesn't want a couple of extra £100 for already talking about a brand that you were already using?
Incredible. Go do that, guys. I'm already looking at my table. But before we wrap up this section, I'm curious, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about running your own business?
You can do anything that you want to. Like, you just have to decide what you want. So you can't be easily distracted by trying to do 10 different things. You can do one of those 10 if you really focus on it. And I think that is the problem I see with myself and with lots of other people is we are not focused enough on one particular goal because we're like, oh, but I want to do this and I want to do that. If you just focus on one thing, you could probably achieve it. It's just like you need to focus on it and then get it done. And that's something we think, oh, we have all the time in the world because we're freelance, we'll be so productive, but only if you actually have a system in place to be productive. You can spend a lot of time watching Netflix and scrolling on TikTok. Don't underestimate the amount of time that you can spend doing those things.
Yeah, no, I hear it. Like I literally just downloaded one of those apps that blocks the time on TikTok, etc. Game changer. It's just get off the app and I'm like, oh, okay, let me go
Yeah.
do something.
Like it's so funny because we be like, oh, we're researching, like we're doing TikTok research. We need to know what kind of content, and it's limit yourself, give yourself 30 minutes for research and then move on.
Literally.
Hope you're enjoying the show. Would love to hear what you're thinking. Drop a comment and share your thoughts. Even better, if you're loving the show, take 2 seconds to rate us 5 stars wherever you get your podcast. It really helps other people find us. And if you want to be a guest, details in the show notes on how to sign up. Now, let's jump back in.
Thank you so much for sharing your business journey with us. Now we are going to go on and talk about things that make your life a little bit easier. And so I always like to start this section with music. Do you have a hype song, like a song that just gets you like ready to take on the world?
Yes, it is Drake Headlines.
Solid
Yeah.
song. I miss the old Drake.
I same. If I mean, that could be a whole podcast in itself, but like that song, and it's so funny. I'll be going on to a panel or like a corporate conference call or something, and like I'm listening to Drake like right before.
Love it. Like pre-2016 Drake, golden.
100%. That's the energy that you need going into those spaces, I think.
Obsessed. And then do you have any personal policies now that keep you like grounded? Like mine is no calls before 10, for example.
I like that one. Something that I invented in my corporate days and now I still find very valuable is an emergency on your part doesn't constitute an emergency on my part. So you'll get emails or you'll get message, and now like everyone's using WhatsApp as like a business platform start. Like that's amazing. This is for like the family. Anyway, as people will, because they have not planned their life properly or like they're in an emergency, they will try and force you to feel stressed about something. But actually, if it's not something that's urgent to you, then it's not urgent. So you don't have to absorb other people's stress. I'll give an example of, okay, let's say I'm going on a panel next week and they haven't sold enough tickets for the event for example, they will try and make you feel like it's urgent on your part to sell out that event. That's not an emergency on your part. So if it's not an emergency for your business, then it's not an emergency. You don't have to put that to the top of your to-do list because that person can't market their event or hasn't done what they need to do. And it sounds harsh, but other people's emergencies aren't your emergencies.
Yeah, no, I hear that. And in my line of work, it's often not an emergency. It's like, oh, we need to it's like we need to turn this around in like a month. Can you? I'm like, you actually don't. No one's dying. Like we'll do the system will be ready when it's ready.
Yeah, like it's not. And it's so often I find because they haven't been organized. It's
Yeah.
very rarely that it's actually, as you said, like urgent. It's like if you're feeling pressure from someone above you. And so you're trying to get me to feel stressed. But I'm freelance. I'm not part of that thing that you're doing. So yeah, I think that's a really helpful one because especially if you're like a bit of a people pleaser, you can feel like, oh no, I need to do this urgently if that's not urgent for you.
Yeah, I had a great moment for myself this week where a client had given a proposal a while back, but they've only just responded. Can we start this week? And I was like, no, actually, you might have to wait.
Yeah, it's like I don't operate under whatever your stress is. It's not gonna work on me, you know? And so I think that's so important because people will try and get you to move faster because they need to move faster. This is the pace at which my business goes. You can either get on board or not, but this is how we're doing things.
Yeah, especially this is like obviously like if like in situations like that, if I do have time, I'm like, yeah, sure, but I actually don't have time. But old me would have been like, I'll make time. And like, Francis, that's not a good choice for anybody.
Yeah, and you're not giving your best work. You're not I know that I work best when I am feeling relaxed and I'm feeling confident, feeling well rested and all those things. And so diary management is a huge part of being freelance and running a business and energy management, knowing when you are at capacity and when you have time to do things and making those calls and not feeling bad about it.
100%. Speaking of capacity management, what are some hero tools or apps that you use to keep yourself productive and organized?
Trello. I love Trello, obsessed with Trello. The reason I love Trello for my client work, so I will, when I onboard someone, I will put like all the tasks that we need to do on one side, and then as we do them, we move them over. Trello is the simplest system I've ever seen. And what I like about it is that you don't need to have a whole induction with people. If some people have used it before, even if they haven't, it's super user friendly and it's easy for them to pick up in seconds. I just want something simple. I don't want to have to, okay, I'm coaching you on social media and I'm also going to coach you on this new platform that we're using. It feels too overwhelming. Yeah. So I think Trello is amazing for that. Shout out to Gmail, shout out to Calendly. Between Calendly and my Google Calendar, like those two, that's my whole business is resting on those. So yeah, they're amazing.
Shout out to Calendly for real.
I mean, it's such a simple but, like, here are the times I'm available. Book any of these times.
Yeah. And even being able to put in buffers for yourself and like maximum types of meetings per week so you're not getting burnt out.
Buffers? When I introduce those buffers because you think and again, it comes with the self-awareness of being freelance. I think I can do back-to-back meetings. I can't. They run over and then you're late to the and you need a minute to send the email you said you were gonna send to that person, to breathe, use the bathroom. Like, you can't do back to back. You need buffers.
100%. And then style. So you did touch on style earlier, but in this new era of your personal brand, do you have a personal uniform that you go to or any brands that you're loving?
So I'm aware this is, like, marginally unhinged. I only wear black. I don't wear
You
any
did
other
say this.
Yeah, like, I know it's unhinged. And people I get it, like, it's not for everyone. I understand that. I simply spend time figuring out what to wear. I can't. Some people love doing that, and it's like a whole thing. I find it so stressful if I have to be somewhere and I'm like, okay, what to wear? Like, I can't. So I have 3 or 4 outfits. I wear them. Even when I'm going to Pilates, like all my active wear is black. It just makes life so much easier. So you'll find me in one of those 4 outfits and they're all black and they can all be washed together and it's amazing. I've been wearing black for I think 3 years. Yeah, since like 2021. I started it when I was working in an office and it was that I was going to the office 5 days a week. Crazy. Now I think about it. And just like it was one less decision I had to make for what to wear. It also helped part of me branding myself and helping me feel like I was being taken seriously as well, because I would wear like a black blazer or black suit. And then it was like slick back bun, black suit. I'm a serious person.
Was it Miranda Priestley? Devil Wears Prada?
Very her. Love her.
Yeah. And now let's talk about beauty, actually. Do you have any hero beauty products or brands that you lean on? Curls are popping, by the way.
Thank you so much. No, just
Welcome.
as a fellow curly girl, the struggle and the blessing that we have with curly hair, I would recommend, I would avoid the hairdresser like the plague because I've just had terrible experiences going to the hairdresser. But what really changed for me is I went to a hairdresser and I think it was like a 2-hour appointment. She taught me the curly girl method. She sat down with me and taught me how to look after my hair and do this wash routine, like how much shampoo, these are the products. And that to me was invaluable, like best 2 hours of my life spent because you don't always know what to do with your hair. Like you have an idea, but you need someone to kind of teach you. So I think if you can go to a curly hair salon and have someone sit down with you and teach you how to do your hair, like better than, because then the products, like, yeah, there's some products that are good, there's some products that are bad, but that's different for each person. But the method for me was amazing.
Yeah, I can sympathize with that. I'm becoming a bit more product agnostic. Like there are some products that suck, and I'm just like, I will never touch that. Most products are fine. Like it's the method and learning how to adapt whatever that product is with the method so that you end up with a similar result
Yeah.
at least. But
100%. Like most products are fun. I find with skincare as well, drinking water and sleeping at an appropriate time will probably do more for my skin than any product.
and in terms of tools that you look to become a better business person, do you have any favorite podcasts, newsletters, books, anything that you want to shout out?
My favorite podcast, I would say, that I've been listening to even before I knew I wanted to be a business person is How I Built This by NPR with Guy Raz. And that's actually how I found out about Calendly, was that the founder went on that show. He has interviewed like every big brand name company that you know about, and just hearing those stories is so inspiring to me. Like people who have actually done it. Because some of us, like, for me, I don't have people around me, like family members, etc., who have been entrepreneurs and who have been really successful. To hear those stories from those people, I think is so inspiring.
Amazing. Yeah, that's one that comes up a lot, but I don't know why, but I haven't listened to it yet. But today is
Yeah.
another nudge.
Yeah, find a company that you love, like Calendly, for example,
Oh,
because
okay.
I like Five Guys, like I listened to the story of Five Guys, and once you're like, you love the product, then you care more. Because if it's a product you've never heard, like,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm definitely going to listen to the Calendly one,
Yeah.
actually, as a fellow Nigerian. But for people who don't know, the guy who started Calendly is Nigerian. Amazing.
Oh, hey again. Did you know there are roughly 100,000 London business babes out there? And we're on a mission to reach as many as possible. Enjoying what you hear? To support the hours of work that goes into making this special, you can either A, consider supporting directly as a paid monthly Substack subscriber to also unlock future exclusive content for less than a coffee and a croissant. B, any brands listening? We'd love to explore ways for you to be part of the journey. C, at the very least, on your next co-working date, tell a fellow London business babe about us. Details in the show notes. Now let's jump back in.
Thank you for giving us all of your recommendations. They will be available in the Coffee and Oysters guide for people to look through. Now let's also talk about London. So where are you from in London? You don't have to say exactly where, but just so that people get a flavour.
So I am a South London girlie. I have always from birth lived. I was born in Balham and then I've always been in South London. If you see me in another part of London, just know that I'm probably there for an event or Pilates or something. There's an important reason why I've left South London because I try and stay here as much as I can.
Yeah, fair enough. As a South immigrant, I guess that's what you could say I am. I get it now. I do get it.
Where were you before that?
I was in York, like the city, York. I lived there for like 4 or 5 years, basically.
Really?
And then I grew up outside of London in a nothing town called Bracknell.
I love,
Yeah.
well, yeah, now you get it. Now you're like, okay, South London is the best. And this is,
I just, the people are real here. That's what I love about it, really.
see, yeah, we are.
Do you have anything on your London bucket list?
Yes, I do. I must this year or next year go to, it's a Pilates studio called Pilates in the Clouds. And I don't know what floor it's on, but it's a penthouse. Basically, it's a Pilates studio and you're in the clouds. But it's frequented by a lot of models, celebrities. It's £75 per class. I'm just trying to justify that in my mind before I book, essentially. But I will be going.
Fair enough. Christmas is about to come up. If anyone's listening, please buy Phoebe a ticket to Pilates in the Clouds.
It's one of those things where it's, am I really going to spend £75?
Is it
Yeah.
that deep?
Yeah, you're like, I know it's gonna be an amazing experience, but I'm like, oh, that's a lot.
And so when it comes to London, the city itself, do you have any food spots that you want to shout out?
So it's very obviously I've worked in the restaurant business, and so I have to say that really opened my eyes to the behind the scenes. If you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know what I'm talking about. Like that's how things run and that's how things operate. So I'm very basic when it comes to my food taste. I would say Dishoom. If you haven't been to Dishoom, I would urge you to go immediately, make the booking right now, because I think that is one of the best restaurants in terms of food, vibe, concept, just everything. I think Dishoom will always be one of my absolute favorite. And actually, it's like, it's just good. I like something that's consistently good.
Agreed. Never a bad decision.
Right? You never regret going. Some of the more expensive places, you're like, it wasn't all that, but Dishoom, you're like, yeah, this was good.
Any cafes you want to shout out?
You know where I love is actually not in South London, but Black Cab, Christopher's Place. I'm obsessed with matcha. I'm such a cliche. I know. I'm sorry. The Pilates, the matcha, like I am that girly. But Black Cab, matcha in St. Christopher's Place, like behind Oxford Street, 10 out of 10 matcha.
No. And then finally, are there any kind of networking groups or members clubs that you're a part of that you want to shout out?
So I am a big fan of networking. I've come to Notion events. I think the Notion events are really good. You find some really interesting people at those events, and it's fun, creative people. It's not always the super tech heavy conversations. It's just fun people. I like Luma, the event, like an event platform. I spend probably half an hour a week scrolling on there to find good networking events. Some good London ones are She Bites Back for, yeah, mainly for people in tech, but like I go and enjoy as well. Peer Suite is good as well. All of these I found on Luma and they do regular events on Luma. But I find just going to different things, like the offline hangout is also really good. That's where you go in and they like steal your phone and lock it away. And I do Sudoku, but you can do like coloring or whatever. And then for the second half, you like talk. So the first half is silent, and then the second half you get to talk to people. But yeah, I love networking events. I think they are so helpful for when you start your business.
Yeah, and also just at least I found finding cool places in the city. For me, at the beginning of the year, I set myself a goal to go to at least one networking event a week in London. And I've discovered so many cool places and met so many interesting people because of it. So just leave your house, people.
Leave the house. Like, honestly, I would say, especially if you have just started a business or you're like building a personal brand, go out there and just like practice introducing yourself. It sounds so silly, but like just saying, hey, I'm Phoebe and I'm a social media coach. What is the reaction from people? How do you feel saying it? Like, it's so valuable. Even if you don't come away with, oh, I got this many clients, you make amazing connections.
Don't worry if it's a lot to take in. All of the amazing tools, spots, and recommendations mentioned by our guests can be found in the Coffee and Oysters guide. Details in the show notes.
Thank you for sharing. To wrap up, I've got a few more questions. The first question is, what is a recent win for yourself that you would like to celebrate, and of someone else's that you would like to celebrate?
So, a recent win for me, I run a 40-day consistency challenge. So, with my coaching, it's an 8-week program. And then at the end of the 8 weeks, I have this like community on Instagram. It's like a private Instagram account. And everyone, like at the start, you join that community and then you stay in that community like forever until you want to leave. But people can still have access to like other things and content that I post. So we did with those clients who maybe worked with me at the start of the year, we did a 40-day consistency challenge. And you got to pick like whatever you wanted to be consistent in. The results that the clients got from staying consistent, some of them were like, oh, I want to post every day for 40 days, for example, or I want to launch my coaching business or set up my newsletter. Just by having other people who were waiting on you to do what you said you were going to do. So like we had a Zoom, we like publicly declared the goal we were trying to achieve. And then we knew that at the end there'll be a check-in to say, did you achieve it or not? The power of just having like knowing that someone's going to come back and ask you, did you do that, has been so powerful. So I think that challenge was a huge win for me and for everyone in that community.
Amazing.
Literally. And being competitive of, okay, I can't let them down. Like I have to go back and say I did it. So yeah.
I think something that would make it probably more powerful for me is if you break the challenge, like you have to give up some money.
That's such a good, okay, I'm going to do that next time. But you have to pay me £1,000 if you don't do it.
But like, that's probably like, it's free or you pay, like you choose.
I'm going to do that. You told me to do it.
Nice, that covered me. And then lastly, I always like to say, you never know who's listening. Is there anything that you want to plug, or is there anything that you need help with?
So I am obsessed with and love doing free social media audits. So if anyone wants a free social media audit, please, the link is in my bio on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever your favorite platform is. It's so valuable for me, and hopefully I've had great feedback that it's really valuable for other people as well. Even if you think you know what you're doing, you just maybe need a second pair of eyes on your account, come and do a free social media audit with me. We can talk about Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
Amazing. Anything you need to help with?
Any good co-working spaces in London that are quiet? If anyone has any quiet co-working space recommendations, I'll be very interested to hear about them, because I'm a home office girly. Like I don't really leave the house, but I'm aware that it could be useful to find a good space.
Okay, let's chat after this. Have a few. But thank you so much for coming on today. Super excited for this to go out. Where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Phoebe Parke, PhoebeParke. I'm also on LinkedIn under that name. If you are interested in the 170 Pilates studio reviews that we were just talking about, then follow me on TikTok, again, under the same name.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening. Get in touch at coffeeandoysters@gmail.com. Stay connected at Coffee and Oysters Pod on TikTok and Instagram. And never miss out by subscribing to Substack. Details in the show notes. And most importantly, keep those 5-star ratings coming, and see you next time.